The Robbery of the Shoshone. The title of this podcast is quite literal. Something significant to the Shoshone tribe was taken from their land. Hello, my audience members. I am Azan Rashid, a 19-year-old freshman here at the University of California, Berkeley. I'm currently taking Dr. Worthy's American Culture and Natural Resource Management class, and I will be conducting this podcast about the Native tribe. For a bit of background, the Shoshone people were a Native American tribe primarily in Nevada. Some notable terms of the structural framework of the society include the following system: Notable, noble savage, brutal savage, conquered peoples, dependent Indian, ecological Indian, and independent Indian. The Shoshone fit into the dependent Indian category because after the land was taken, they were forced onto reservations. Here's a photo from Encyclopedia Britannica about their appearance. With their ample land, they could make their own income and had a significant number of cattle and other animals to graze, which was never an issue until 1974 when the United States sued two native sisters for tending their land without a permit. Their ranch land is being raided and destroyed by the US government for trespassing. First off, they own the land. How can you trespass on something you own? This defeats the purpose of trespassing. This is just heartbreaking because this destroys their culture and their history on the hundreds of years old soil. Fortunately, the film titled American Outrage documents all of the hardships the two Dan sisters faced in the US lawsuit. I had the privilege of watching it in my UC Berkeley class for American Culture and Natural Resource Management. Throughout the film, one theme I noticed, which you still see today, is greed. The courts and the lawsuits just wanted more power and assets, which made people's lives a living hell. Countless times, the government organized these intricate raids on their lands, stealing their cattle, averaging about $1 million every raid. Here's a photo of all the horses they killed in their attempt to get land from the innocent tribe. So, how was any of this constitutional? Short answer: it isn't. Here's a picture of the treaty of Ruby Valley. It was designed to allow the native tribe to keep all of their land, which included millions of acres. The government treated the Shoshone's land as public and communal, and, as mentioned, charged for trespassing. According to the article titled Cultural Persistence in Nevada: Current Native American Issues, written by Richard C. Hain, he mentioned that the federal government controls 85% of Nevada's land, and about 67% of the state is managed by the BLM, also known as the Bureau of Land Management, which shows how much of an overlap there is with beliefs. The US has no right to be making these harsh choices because of the motives of greed and power when there are rules and practices and treaties made in place. It's just heartbreaking to see that the Shoshone people are literally getting their culture taken away, just like a robbery. It took away their history, their dignity, and a piece of themselves, just wiped away from existence, or more specifically, a theft of identity. But with that said, family members are essential, just as the relationship between the Dan sisters is. You saw throughout the film of American Outrage how they kept fighting the resistance together. Um, and also, with that said, one crucial topic that stood out to me in the film mentioned earlier with their identity and their culture was their ability to perform dances on their land, indicating their spiritual beliefs and other things that were necessary to them, which is there. Everything is there for a purpose and reason. So, overall, there are several preservation and informative websites that illustrate this tribe and their hardships, so the culture is available for the world to see. However, the problem will never actually be resolved. They'll continue to fight for what they believe is right and keep continuing to fight for their lands. So, with that said, this concludes this podcast. Thank you for listening to this episode about the Shoshone robbery, and I look forward to making another episode sometime soon. Have a great day.